Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. And the name of that show? Ludonauts. I am your narrator, a cosmic being dwelling in a vast crystal pavilion at the heart of the multiverse. I take 3 ordinary humans, my Ludonauts, and set them loose into wild and wonderful adventures. Without any further ado, let me introduce the cast for this evening's entertainment.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm a Ludonaut. I'm playing Peter Penumbra, and he's an unspeakable horror from beyond the stars.
I say that in first dates too. My name is Robin. I'm playing Nibelung Pigborn. Call him Pig, and I've never been arrested for any crimes.
Hello, I am Craig, and I'm also a Ludonaut, and I'll also be playing Getbit, who's pretty nice.
Previously on Ludonauts. It is the night of the Great Riddle contest in the city of Troika. Our heroes have been hired by the Obsidian Sphinx to infiltrate a party being held in the Grand Conservatory by her rival, the Carnelian Sphinx, and find some leverage that will give her an advantage in the contest tomorrow. Our heroes, after some trials and tribulations, have found and infiltrated the VIP area. Peter Penumbra the Cacodon is currently magically disguised as one of the Sphinx's pillbug guards. They have made it as far as the Sphinx's library.
We could set fire to the library.
We still haven't gotten the riddle.
No, but
which
it's the whole reason we're here.
It's the whole reason we're here.
Hear me out in the plan, lads. If we set fire to the library, because we could get the pillbug to escort any witnesses out, we set fire to the library, right? That scuppers the whole party. People all evacuate to the nearest fire evacuation zone, and then we can case the joint.
But then we'd have to come up with a whole reason why we're here, casing the joint.
Well, you're a professional pillbug, then we're your boys.
Okay, here's another way that we can use my pillbugness.
Mm-hmm.
I will go and continue to case the joint, just march around, look important.
Mm-hmm.
If anything's looking like it's going sideways,
then you can set fire.
You can start some trouble. And
right.
I can go and stop you starting some trouble, and then, have a good reason why I'm busily, hurrying away.
Okay.
Okay, so to reiterate your position, you are in the library.
Mm-hmm.
There was a door that you came in that leads to a toilet, and there is another door that's on the same wall.
Okay.
Should we go through that door then?
I will go first, and I'll lead ahead by a bit. You guys follow me without looking like you're following me, and then if anything's starting to go wrong, start some trouble.
I will follow daintily after you. Ever ready.
We proceed thus.
Where are you going? Are you go back the way you came?
No, the other way.
The other way. This is a small room that you're in. It's about the same size as the toilet, and it contains oil paintings of the 12 Sphinxes.
Okay. Promising. Sphinx related.
How populated is the room?
In the centre of the room, there's a sort of cosmic emanation. Your eyes can't really focus on it. It's a sort of flickering spiral of energy, but it's almost impossible to look at.
It's a light-bending super rich guy. Well, I will try not to look at it, and I'll just march past, maybe casting a few glances at the paintings.
Mm-hmm. There's paintings of all 12 Sphinxes. You've got the Carnelian Sphinx, the Obsidian Sphinx, the Vermilion Sphinx, and all the others.
I would like to touch the painting of the one that we're here to rob.
Yes.
The Carnelian Sphinx.
I would also like to help investigate the one, the Carnelian Sphinx.
I don't think I'll investigate it. I think I'll just touch it.
It seems to be a conventional painting as far as you can ascertain.
We are now familiar with 4-dimensional, or is it 3-dimensional paints?
All paintings are 3-dimensional paintings.
Yeah, but there was a fake one that was
fake 4-dimensional art.
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems legitimate as far as you can see.
Okay.
Can we try pulling at the painting? Does the frame move to conceal a hidden safe in the wall, for instance?
No, it seems just to be hanging up normally.
I'm going to march around the room and see if I can make note of any other exits.
There's no other exits, just the one you came in.
Okay. I'm going to try to not look at these two idiots obviously interfering with the artwork, in case there's anybody that would be watching this and wondering why the guard isn't guarding.
Well, if anybody asks, we can say we're fire safety officers. Oil, for example, on an oil painting, highly flammable.
Turks or lacquer, as previously covered.
Exactly.
Can I investigate this emanation in the centre of the room in any way?
What a sentence.
You're finding it hard to look at. You're feeling a sense of cosmic dread almost that emanates from it, as if this is something that mortals aren't meant to perceive or interact with in any way.
I often do feel a sense of cosmic dread. Okay. I will not look at it or interact with it anyway in that case.
Can I say hello? Not necessarily to it, but like as close as I can get to saying hello to it.
As you get closer to it, you feel a sense of, when you're really strong static electricity, a sense of that building up and almost pushing you away.
Like putting your hand over an old CRT TV.
Yes, it's like that, but much, much worse.
Okay. I know when we're not wanted. Clearly he's not into us.
Shall we try a different room?
I want to have a look at the painting of the Onyx Sphinx.
Okay. There's not a painting of an Onyx Sphinx.
Oh, the Obsidian Sphinx. Pigborn. I mean, there could be an Onyx.
There's not an Onyx Sphinx.
There's no Onyx Sphinx.
It's
all
obsidian.
the planes.
Obsidian Sphinx.
Is there a corundum sphinx? Or a basalt sphinx?
I don't know.
Weaver's a web weaver. We're sat in the palace of your infinite imagination, and you can't just say, yes, there's a thing sphinx there, made of stuff and items.
Yes, and...
I'm just trying to think, is there any way that this is like a puzzle designed as a puzzle?
I mean, I appreciate that he's not giving us information that would lead us to think this is a puzzle disguised as a puzzle, because we would definitely try and solve an unsolvable puzzle. I just think, if behind the Obsidian Sphinx is the Obsidian Sphinx's riddle, maybe he's got them tagged. So he comes into the room and goes, "Oh, yeah, no." It's like a Rolodex or like a file of facts, both. Items that no longer exist to the audience of this podcast.
You don't know. The people listening to this are probably pretty venerable in themselves.
I choose to drink in all the art form. Tell me, Game Master, what are these 12 sphinxes?
Well, you notice the jade, the vermilion, the carnelian, the topaz, the sapphire, the granite, the quartz, the emerald, the obsidian, the opal, the platinum, and the ruby sphinxes.
Ooh. Ruby Sphinx is a great name for a hairdresser.
Yeah. Personally, I think that my favourite one's probably the granite sphinx, because I feel like that's definitely the underdog.
Yeah,
it's from Troika, Aberdeen. It's got a massive chip on its shoulder.
All the other sphinxes are from other fantastical realms, and the granite one comes from the realm of Aberdeen. I am concerned that if the thing is here, say if it was just behind a painting and whatnot, there is an unknowable gaseous energy creature that we can't get towards or say hello to.
I mean, it might not even be a creature. It might just be a presence.
I mean, a presence is a creature, right?
Not necessarily. It could be a phenomenon.
Well, it's a phenomenon that's a guy. Because if it's a phenomenon that's not a guy, then who the fuck cares? Because it's not going to come out as if it's a guy.
It's currently not been coming out.
It could just be this could be its bathroom. We don't know. Maybe that's how it excretes fluid
by
observing in oil painting form.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a better idea?
Just shats masterpieces constantly.
I can tell you. Oh no.
It's an unknowable horror. That might be its method. I'm not criticising.
I'm just wondering if I try and look at the paintings through the unknowable horror. Does this give some kind of solution?
You find it almost impossible to look at the unknowable horror. Are you going to try? Every fibre of your being rebels against this action.
Well, it's got to be here for some reason. Let's do it.
Maybe we should rush it, but
I mean, I've never once succeeded on a dice roll yet.
You rolled succeeded to turn into a pill.
Doesn't it get harder?
Which is
and harder
the only
to
one we
succeed
needed
as well?
you.
As far as luck goes,
yeah. Is there any other? Because there will be other rooms to go to. Because we've just been taking one.
This presumably the end of the adventure is somewhere. Yeah,
somewhere.
Just knocking on doors. Excuse me.
Section 445.
Are you the end of the adventure?
The VIP area. And it is now. But
what if we just found the Sphinx and said, "Could we have the riddle, pretty, please"?
We need to find the Sphinx first. Shall we go to a different room?
Yeah. Goodbye, phenomenon.
You leave the room, feeling somewhat better for not being in the presence of this unknowable cosmic horror.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go back out through the toilet and into the gallery?
Always. That sort of seems like the only way to go.
Easily my favourite architectural decision.
The connecting toilet.
The connecting toilet, yeah.
To the library.
Oh no, it's occupied. We'll just have to remain in this wing of the building.
If you get the runs, you hold up an entire social
That's
event.
a legitimate problem, but also you're putting the plumbing area, the open water area, next to the paper-based library.
You move through the toilet back into the large Mobius gallery, which you were in before.
Mm-hmm.
From here, it's not quite, it's got a kind of off square shape. It's a sort of almost like pentagonal shape. So the door you came in at is at the top pointy bit of the pentagon, if you will.
Okay.
There's another door on that same diagonal wall.
Well, I guess that's where I'm going.
We will nonchalantly, non-suspiciously make our way.
Mm-hmm. As the evening has worn on somewhat, and the guests, although nobody's perhaps rolling around absolutely drunk off their heads yet, everyone is a little bit tipsier than they were earlier on.
It's good for us.
You go through the other door.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This room is about maybe half the size of the gallery. One whole wall is occupied by an enormous pipe organ.
Very nice.
There's a figure sitting at it, dressed all in black.
Of course.
Now, his hands are dancing over the keys, but they're all just playing the same note.
Okay. Is it just one sustained?
No, it's each note is the same, if that makes sense.
Is this some kind of a pun? You get like a tone deaf organ or something?
It's the Downtons of the name Tone Deaf Organ, but like out of sync with everyone else.
Should we approach this organ man and say hello?
I will march in a perimeter around the room and see what the rest of the room's like.
The walls are just covered in various pipes and parts of the organ. The organ basically does take up the actual keyboard bit is quite small at the far end, but the whole room's dominated by the machinery of the organ.
I'd be like, I was in an organ room earlier, but it was more of a flesh organ.
You get the feeling that if the player was to really go all out, it would be quite deafening being in here, but he seems to have restricted himself mostly to the higher register at the moment.
Of this one note.
Of this one note. It clearly has some sort of filter settings on it.
So everything gets registered as the one note.
So he's just turned off every feature apart from, A minor.
The figure stands up. You can see he's a very tall, slender man in a black trench coat almost, and it's covered in ornamentation, medals, rosettes, buttons, frogging.
He's wearing pomp and circumstance.
It's very
full to the
fancy,
nines.
but it's all black.
Place your bets. He's an all-black organ-playing man. Is he a vampire, or a Phantom of the Opera, or a Ganondorf?
You're one step ahead of me here.
I was going to assume he was some kind of New Zealand rugby player.
He's incredibly pale.
Mm-hmm.
He's got long pointed ears, very angular features, and he's got two small pointed front teeth.
Is that canines or is that incisors?
Incisors, these front ones.
Oh, so it looks like Nosferatu.
Yeah.
It's a sort of military looking Nosferatu.
He's not a Dracula, he's an Orlok.
Mm-hmm.
A well-decorated Orlok. Hello!
Fellow music lovers, I see.
Yes?
Oh, we love those tunes.
I'm just going to stand next to the door and look like I'm guarding it and allow the other non-employed people here to do the social interaction.
I find mortals seldom appreciate the subtle intricacies of our music.
And, no, I don't. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I don't. What the fuck? It's been a night. It has been a night and a half.
We killed a bear.
We killed a bear.
Recreationally?
Technically, yes. Yeah, we didn't. We weren't. He nearly had a relapse into his pillaging state, so we're sort of taking him for a walk too.
That's true. That's true. You look like a man who pillages, if you know what I mean.
Where the Imperium Arc visits, few places are left untouched, that is for sure.
Mm-hmm. You see a nice little farm in town. I know.
He nods with a sort of glint in his eye.
Oh, what are we doing?
Why are you restricted to one note? Or is this a limitation that expands your horizons?
The organ only plays one note. It is a brutalist organ. The Carnelian Sphinx is a great appreciator of music, as am I.
I can't possibly argue with that. That explains the concrete.
Are you a fan of the Carnelian Sphinx?
I appreciate a good riddle as much as the next immortal, blood-sucking creature. I enjoy the parties more.
The parties, but you've locked yourself in a room alone. No one, the music isn't...
penetrating.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
You realise that you actually had been able to hear it in the gallery, but didn't actually register as music at the time.
I thought that was an alarm.
We were all having a collective tinnitus hallucination.
God, I thought That's an Alarm was actually quite a good one because, like, it probably just sounded like
But tell me, why are you people here? You don't look like the typical sort of friends of the Carnelian Sphinx's inner circle.
I mean, I wouldn't say inner circle. I mean, like it's an outer circle. We're orbiting.
Rings within rings within rings.
No, it tends to be only the most elite tend to get invited to the House of Indolent Loons. And you two,
I mean,
you stand out.
We came, we're retainers of the great Baron Bombobulus.
we are here to be his bodyguards.
Bombobulus. I've had quite a few.
We're here to be Ron Bobulus's bodyguards, but
Maximilian. Old Maxi Bombobulus.
he's either fucked off or died or something.
Yes, I have heard of Baron Rombobulus's reputation. He has an insatiable lust for drink. I can relate. Perhaps not so much for drink, but... Yes.
Oh, Simmer. All right.
But you!
He turns to look at Peter disguised as a pillbug.
I'll slap my pill buggy chitinous helmet with my fist and be like, "Yes, sir."
He sort of strokes his pointed chin.
Yes, almost, but not quite. You have to realise that your infrared signature is completely off.
I'll slap do it this way again and apologies, sir.
I suspect shenanigans are afoot.
Do you think we should sweep his leg or?
Well, let's go to him because he could be pro shenanigans.
And
a fellow who's pro shenanigans is a friend of ours.
I can probably barge this lab. How do you feel about a little fire?
A little fire, eh?
A small, manageable, containable.
You have arson on your mind, perhaps?
Always.
You're going to burn this playhouse down.
He laughs at his own joke.
God, he's insufferable.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'd love to burn this place to the ground, but that's like a mental illness, if anything. It's not necessarily a thing that's going to happen, unless you'd want to get in on it.
No, get bit. There's no need to talk in such negative terms. If you believe you can, you can.
I think I could.
I think you could.
I think I could.
You've adopted 2 children in the past 24 hours alone. You can do anything.
Where is our child?
He's with us. He's presumably under my hat.
He's hanging along. Is he solid? He can either be walking along beside you or under the hat. Whatever's easier.
We're always, one of us is holding his hand at all times.
Mr. Vampire Man, I assume you're a vampire. Do you think I could burn this place down with some fire?
It would be almost unfortunate to let a magnificent organ such as this be damaged.
Well, it's made of metal. Can't be burnt by fire. I feel like you're not.
Pause. Sidebar. What are you trying to get out of this conversation?
Well, I can't tell them we're here to steal a thing, can I? I can't go, you're robbing
We
the Sphinx.
We absolutely can tell him. It's significantly less offensive than, do you want to
burn down this house for no reason?
It's not no reason.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Did we get a name from you? Has he got a name badge? A goth name badge?
Well, they'd be all black, right?
It would be all black. It's black.
Maybe it'd be stamped on his medals or his
Sure.
rosettes.
They don't personalise medals.
Usually not, but
Sorry, I should have introduced myself. I am Graf von Tistal.
Graphon Tista.
Tista. Well, your graphness, the doff the hat. You wouldn't happen to know where the beloved Sphinx keeps their riddles, would you?
I'm not privy to that sort of information. Perhaps you could ask her.
Oh, do you...
Where is the Sphinx?
That would be question number 2, then.
I think she's holding court in her throne room, as is her wont. Very much an attention seeker, that one.
Is it because she hasn't got any wings? I've recently learned they don't have wings, and I'm very upset by that revelation. I'm new to this whole Sphinx game. I assumed, probably wrongly and racially, that they had wings.
I think you're perhaps thinking of Lamassus.
Exactly. I was probably thinking of Lamassus.
Classic beginner mistake.
And I was roped into this whole shenanigans, like you're saying, and I was like, oh yeah, Sphinxes. I thought I knew where I was. But then recently I've learned they don't have wings. In my mind, Sphinxes had wings, and now that they don't have wings, I reckon that we could probably fuck this Sphinx up.
Why do we want to do that, though? We were specifically hired not to cause a scene.
I remember the guy hiring us saying something about fucking the Sphinx up. Setting a fire. He mentioned fire originally.
Your Excellency.
I am absolutely certain.
Do you know where the throne room is?
Yes, it's just off the foyer.
This is just off the foyer, I believe.
I think everywhere in the House of Indolent Blooms is technically just off the foyer. Is it?
You seem like a sly customer. So, is it normally like that? Have you been here before? Is this your first time visiting?
Oh no, I've been here, must be my 15th or 16th party.
Right. And when you go from a room to room, do you genuinely feel like you know where you're going and rooms connect to other rooms in a sensible, logical manner, or has it always been ridiculous?
The House of Indolent Blooms itself is constant. The conservatory is quite a strange place.
I mean, I suppose we are, in-universe, inhabitants of the magnificent city of Troika, so this is normal to us.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go speak to, Damp Kenneth?
I would rather kill myself.
Damp Kenneth seemed to know the
I
score.
also, we'd need to go, back quite a long distance to get back to where Damp Kenneth was.
Anyway, your graph ship. If, for instance, there was a horrible, terrible heist, or a theft of, say, Riddle secrets.
He starts to smile.
Yes, go on.
That'd be a bit of fun, don't you think? A bit exciting. How many times in a row has the Carnelian Sphinx won?
7, I believe.
Don't you think it's a bit dry? Wouldn't you want things to be a bit spiced up?
What are you saying is that, say, if a fellow was to place a sum of money on the result of tomorrow's match, that perhaps they might be better betting against their inclinations this time round, as if maybe perhaps something might change this time?
And not that we'd ever suggest such things, but the odds. That's a 7-year streak getting broken. What's the odds on that?
700 years.
700-year streak?
Well, most interesting.
He reaches out and he sort of pats you on your shoulder, and there's a bit too much uncomfortable pressure there.
And of course, there's no such thing as insider betting. You've been here playing your magnificent brutalist organ the whole time.
Indeed I have.
He sort of squeezes even a little bit tighter.
Oh, I've been here before. Close your eyes, pig.
Well, it has been most charming to speak to you, gentlemen. If you don't mind, I shall get back to my symphony.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Graf, the pleasure is all ours. Right, back to the foyer. We're going to take one of those bloody doors.
Right, so let's go back to the foyer, and as we do, I'll mumble talk and be like, Pig, well done. Actually talking about what you're meant to talk. Although, how hard is it to just not give away our entire secret plan to the first person we meet? Gitbit.
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with fire today? This isn't even normal for you.
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to mention the fire.
It's normally swords.
It's normally swords, isn't it? Awareness, and I've mentioned that the world's ending soon. The thing is, right, I feel like that was successful, but I'm just worried that we won't follow through on the whole stealing the riddles thing, because it's been quite difficult. And then if he does bet against and loses all his money, we'll just have a vampire man that's incredibly angry at us now.
Yes, but what we don't have is a vampire man that's trying to kill us right this very second, which I did think was in question for a while there.
He seemed to like fire. He genuinely did.
He did specifically say he's not very fond of it.
He did, yes.
A pillager knows a pillager. He knew.
You leave the Graf to his music.
Yeah.
You go back out through the gallery and then back out through the door you came. You find yourself in a very long corridor that seems to stretch off some way. But on now your left-hand side, there's a door that leads to the banquet hall that you came in from.
Okay.
So do we think we should go down this very long, alarming corridor?
No, I don't think I do, because this podcast has gone on very long. And will continue to go on if we go down the infinite corridor.
You know that the throne room is off the foyer, and you know where the foyer is.
Well, let's go back to the foyer.
Let's march to the foyer.
You wind your way through the banquet hall, back into the foyer. You pick your way through the crowds in the foyer and into the throne room. So the throne room is an echoing enclosed room lit by green flames and brass braziers. The Sphinx is sitting on a giant throne cushion, regaling the various attendees with riddles.
Okay.
Now, there is also another door behind, more or less directly behind the throne, which is guarded by a Pilbug Knight.
Okay, so it seems like you would keep your riddle book behind.
It does. Let's just poke our heads in and see this and then pull back and strategize. Right. I'm a Pilbug Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably walk through the room up to the other Pilbug Knight.
Mm-hmm.
What do I say to him to not have to, fight him to get through the door?
You could do your relieved scheme. but they're
Is that going to work in front of the
the
Sphinx?
box?
Yeah, that seems like a risk.
We could always. One of us could attempt to distract the Sphinx with a riddle.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one could, like, start a fire in, like,
No.
a different room? Or...
You know what? Actually, in this particular instance, because that would maybe move the guard.
But it's not going to move the Sphinx. Almighty beacon of psychic power that she is.
But if the door's behind the sword and she's, like, occupied with her people, she might not be looking at the door.
I think a combination of these two ideas might be our route to success.
Okay.
So, Pig, have you got any good or even bad riddles in mind?
I can whip one up.
And Get Bet, I imagine you just want to start fire.
I do. I really, really do.
Let's see what happens if Pig, you go in first and try to strike up a bit of riddle competition, and I will enter in shortly after that and make my way, without drawing attention to myself, towards the other guard end of the room, and then Get Bet just cause some level of chaos.
Okay. Some chaos, but not fire.
Fire if you want, but just...
What is the room before the throne room?
It was the foyer, so that was the sort of big hall that you came. It's the first room that you came into.
Okay. And there's lots of people milling about.
There's a lot of people milling about. There's, I believe I mentioned Capricorn Schultz in his giant floating diamond. He's sort of a lot of people. He's the main centre of attraction there. He's spouting off about stuff.
Sealed within his diamond.
His head's poking out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Shall we execute on this plan?
Yes, I've got a good feeling about this.
Yep.
Okay, Pig, go in. I'll go in like 6 to 10 seconds.
Okay. I walk up to the Carnelian Sphinx. Well, amongst other crowds.
You have to sort of be a little bit forceful, kind of push your way through, because obviously the majority of the guests are a lot taller than you.
I have been a dwarf my entire life. Nobody manoeuvres through a crowd with nothing but elbows and determination like a dwarf, derivative or no.
I'm imagining from the Carnelian Sphinx's point of view, she just sees his little red cone moving through the room. You make it to the front. She's currently engaged in chatting to a sort of burly orc chieftain, and you hear her say, she said, "Voiceless cries, wingless flutters, toothless bites, mouthless mutters." The orc seems stumped.
It's not time or a river, which most of the riddles in The Hobbit are.
There's that one that's teeth as well, but it's not that.
I was thinking of some sort of unfortunate animal.
So, cries, flutters...
It's the cold.
Do you say that?
No.
Flies, wingless flies,
Voiceless
cries,
wingless flutters, toothless bites, mouthless mutters. Now you can hear this because you're in the room, but your pig's at the front, so you can't communicate any answer to them.
I was just trying to work it out myself.
We should have studied up on riddles before we came to this riddle competition.
We absolutely should have, yes.
Wait. Voiceless cries. One more time. This is like a Slumdog Millionaire moment where Pig is like, he's in the zone, he's having little flashbacks. It's the
orc lets out a loud fart. And then,
you bastard! You bastard!
And then the Carnelian Sphinx was, "Ha ha ha! Correct!"
I hate you. Deeply do I despise the situation you have put me in.
Unfortunately, Pig was almost at like fart height.
Oh yeah, no, it's ruffled the beard hairs.
Yes.
So hold on, is it like your stomach or something?
It was the wind.
It's wind.
The wind.
And that's where I got cold from, because I remember it bites.
I guess wind does bite. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Was that your attempt to find like a hole in like J.R.R. Tolkien's riddling?
Well, no, I'm just trying to like make it make any sense to me.
We've cracked it, lads.
The man's like an old English scholar who crawled out of a barrow mound somewhere in Suffolk.
Absolutely sure it does make sense. I'm just trying to make it make sense to me.
So what would you do?
For starters, a cough. Right, I'm sucking in some clean air. I'm reeling. I'm recovering. And
okay, I'm giving you one more turn to start drawing attention, or otherwise I'm just going to go.
The Carnelian Sphinx looks down at you. Somehow she seems a lot more imposing than the Obsidian Sphinx does.
It's probably because she's better at winning. I take off my hat and I bow. It's a deep, respectful bow.
Well, hello, little fellow. I haven't seen you here before.
Ah, well, there's a first time for everything and everyone, my lady.
That is true. There is a house. One enters it blind and comes out seeing. What is it?
I want to say an optician's.
Okay, I'm going to start moving through the room towards the back, trying to look as inconspicuous as possible.
That's when no one pays you the slightest bit of attention.
Good, so that's what we want.
Okay. When you set off, I'll set back off into the foyer with my magical sun sword drawn. And what was the guy's name again who's in the diamond?
Capricorn Schultz,
Capricorn.
The banker lord.
I'll start shouting, Capricorn Schultz, you cheating bastard. You bastard. And I'll advance towards him.
His little homunculi spin him round to face you and adopt a defensive position in front of him.
You broke my heart, you bastard. You bastard.
I've broken a lot of hearts in my time, darling.
I'll slosh him with oil.
Various members of the crowd, some of them start holding you back, and other ones are like, come on, whoa!
I'll slosh them with oil as well.
Are you just sloshing oil
Sloshing
around?
oil everywhere.
Okay, we cut back to Pig.
So it's a house you enter blind
Mhm.
and leave seeing.
Yes.
It's a school.
Correct!
Oh, good. And as I visibly shove her optician away into my left back pocket.
I mean, optician's quite good, I think.
My, you are a clever little one, aren't you?
Oh, we don't need to re-emphasise the little. It was...
Is the guard in any way reacting to whatever's going on outside the room?
The guard seems absolutely bored to tears.
I will run up to him and I'll say, help come quick, there's one of the VIPs is getting hassled by some crazy man with 1,000 swords.
It's not that weirdo that came in with the Baron, is it?
I think so. I can't handle him by myself, come on.
Okay, he goes running after with you.
Okay, I will make a show of running slightly slower until he overtakes me, and then I'll just dart back into the direction.
Peg, you notice the two Pilbog knights sort of scuttling through the crowd quickly.
30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, and then they stand still.
She sort of strokes her chin with her quite imposing paw.
Goodness, she's big.
I think the answer must be teeth. But of course I have 45.
Well, it would feel rude to check, my lady.
I'll be creating a scene still. I'll be shouting explanatives, and I'll also shout more like "Wanker Lord."
That's been in the back pocket ever since you came up, hasn't it?
It has. And anybody offering any more kind of? They're just saying "Whoa!" Are they actually coming at me now?
There's a couple of the Pilbog knights.
I think there might only be one.
No, there's some from the front.
Okay.
So there's a Pilbog knight behind you, and there's two. Not forcing your way through the crowd, but quite roughly. They're carrying
atomic decombobulators.
They've got big long rifles similar to
The Fusel.
And they're sort of firmly moving people out of the way, and they're closing in on your location. You've got various aristocrats sort of holding you back away from Capricorn Schultz.
I will continue to be.
I tell you something, says Capricorn Schultz. I wouldn't dally with someone as unattractive as you.
He shagged me good, and then he left me.
In your dreams, darling.
Lying bastard! And I'll start just break down crying. I'll be on my knees crying at that point.
Can I get to the door?
Yep, you're at the door.
Okay, can I open the door?
Mm-hmm.
It's locked.
Yeah.
I was expecting the Pilbog to have the key.
Yeah.
There's another corridor which goes on a little way and then turns to the left.
Okay, well, let's keep going.
Okay, you press on down it and you come to there's a sort of set of velvet drapes over an opening.
Okay, I will look through the velvet drapes.
This chamber is as opulent as you would expect There's recessed lightning in sort of monoliths, like small monoliths coming up out the ground, which are casting light, and there are pools of quicksilver, tiled quicksilver baths, recessed into the floor.
Okay, we probably don't want to stepping in that.
No. There's a huge luxurious bed on a plinth against the back wall.
Okay, I will equip my fusel because I'm starting to get a bit scared, and then I will just search the room.
Okay. Have you got any sort of search or awareness?
Probably not. I have got fusel fighting, astrology, second sight. Don't know if that's anything.
No, actually.
Sword fighting, golden barge pilot. In my head, Peter Penumbra is kind of like a spy or like a roguey kind of type, but I don't think his particular skill set actually lines itself very well to that.
He looks exactly like a person, but he has an anglerfish for a head.
Yeah.
Like a full anglerfish with like fins and everything.
I was maybe going to go for like slightly more pale, like possibly quite clawy, like skin other than just the anglerfish head, but like, yeah, basically.
You know, just...
Okay, second sight is completely relevant here.
Oh,
so
good.
Make a skill roll, so your skill plus second sight.
Let's fail another skill check. I am looking to get under 8.
I see.
Every single time. I've rolled 9. Again.
You need to start betting on your dice rolls.
You begin rootling around the room, but nothing's obviously jumping out at you.
We now cut back to Pig in the throne room.
Well, let's see how you feel about this one. I have heard of a something or other growing in its nook, swelling and rising, pushing up its covering. Upon that boneless thing, a cocky-minded young woman took a grip with her hands. With her apron, a lord's daughter covered the tumescent thing.
I mean, that doesn't
No,
sound...
that's not what you think it is.
It doesn't sound, like, usable in mixed company.
So it doesn't, the answer I think we all went to isn't suitable for this podcast.
Not advertiser-friendly.
Not advertiser-friendly.
Mm.
Covered the tumescent thing.
Well,
It's a vegetable, isn't it?
No.
Fruit.
Is it bread?
Oh, of course. Yes. Is it bread?
Close. The answer was dough.
Oh. Because it's like... The tumescent really... Oh, wow. We're all thinking it. I mean, I did go straight...
Aye.
I did go straight to potatoes.
I like that one myself. I find it often throws people, particularly those of perhaps a dirty-minded nature.
Which, you know, I'm sure I'll tell it to the Baron the next time I see him.
Oh, is he here?
He was here. Well, I came in with him, but we can save discussion of the Baron until after the riddle game, because I've not done with my riddles.
You're friends with the Baron?
I am in the Baron's wake.
Many people are.
Yeah, it's
I find him a frightful dullard. He's never answered a single riddle successfully.
I would imagine not.
No, he pays.
Well, this is it.
This is sad. It sounds like it's like we're going around with an old man. It's like the Sphinx has no more questions. It's like, yeah, he pays people to be his friend.
Is Get-Bit getting beaten mercilessly in the other room?
Back to Get-Bit. So you're currently sobbing in a puddle of oil.
I'd like to cover myself in oil, and then I'd be like, I want to get my torch out before
God!
And I want to say, "Get back! I'll do it."
Is your torch lit?
No, but like,
because I would have been getting you to make a luck roll there.
I'm trying to like get into a standoff situation to take as much time as possible.
Right, 3 Pilbog Knights come up to you and they sort of grab you gently but firmly. They say, "Okay, lad, I think you've had enough."
I've not had anything. There's no wasp beer anywhere.
Come on, lad. I think
They're all slags.
I think it's time for you to go home.
They're all slags.
And they begin sort of pulling you towards the door,
I'm covered in oil.
which makes it easier for you to slide you across the floor.
How did they get a grip of me?
like a hockey puck.
Are they oil hockey pucks?
Some of the documentaries I've seen, yeah. Not much hockey being played.
I'll just sob and laugh as they drag me off.
So this oil-covered man, laughing maniacally, being pulled up. They could probably use the handles of your swords, like as handles, because there's so many. You know, there's a lot of good locations for them to purchase a grip, and they just sort of pull you along the ground, and they push you outside the door.
Curses! I forgot to oil the swords.
So outside the door of like the foyer, just into the...
You're outside the House of Indolent Blooms, you're back in the conservatory.
Okay. I'll go
Looking up, you notice that the sky is starting to flicker like an old television.
I'll go see if I can find any goblins.
Are you going to head down the hill towards where the sort of outer party is?
Where the man bear was.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try and look for the riddle again, or...?
Yeah, you can have another try.
Okay. I'm going to second sight it again. 6, which is under 8.
You must have missed it the first time round. An ordinary human would have missed this, but touched as you have been with the power and the glory of the void gives you a certain connection to magical things. You notice a small box concealed at the foot of the bed under the blankets.
Aha. I will take it, and I will investigate it.
Mm-hmm. It's a finely filigreed sort of, imagine like a Victorian music box.
Okay, I'm going to try and open it.
Mm-hmm. It opens easily enough. There's a roll of parchment and a bag, a cloth bag.
Okay, what does the parchment say?
It's full of scribbling. It seems to have been, looking quickly through it, it says things like 4 legs in the morning, 12 legs at night, no. 8 legs in the morning, no. It goes on in that vein for some way. And then at the bottom, underscored, it's got, what gets wetter the more it dries. It dries. And there's a tick next to it.
And what's in the wee bag?
You look into it, it seems to be full of a sort of orange powder.
Okay. Don't know what that is. Probably don't want to take it. Can I use my in-game memory and remember if what we're actually sent to do here is to just retrieve the riddle and then take it back to the...
You were sent to find anything that would leverage advantage
Right.
For the Obsidian Sphinx.
Because I could, of course, just memorise the riddle, leave everything and there's no evidence. Or I could take the whole box and maybe the powder is something good.
Well, if you take the thing, she might change your mind.
This is true.
Yeah,
this
so
is
you
true.
probably do want to memorise it, but then you won't have any proof for the thing, would you?
Well, do I need proof?
It does seem quite vague in terms of leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do I have, like, something to take a note of? Like, do I have
it's
paper?
probably easy enough to remember.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm just gonna... See, what I really want to do is I want to dip my finger into the powder and then taste it like a cop in an old...
Oh, you've got to do it. It's Troika, for God's sake. Come on, man.
Then you, like, swell up to the size of the room or something.
Yeah. Let's do it. What's it?
It's like if Alice in Wonderland was expanded outwards and onwards.
Let's dip my pinky into it and just be like, that's pure.
Good radio. And a nice wet sound for the audience at home.
People love wet mouth sounds.
I think a lot of them really don't.
Are you taking quite are you wetting your whole finger and dipping it in, or just
No, it's not like a sherbet dip or anything,
No.
just like a little bit.
A little bit. You lick it, it has a sort of harsh, fizzy sort of taste on your tongue, and you swallow. Nothing happens for a second,
And then you explode.
and suddenly you become aware. All recorded language becomes like a vast tower in your mind. You're aware of connections and subtext and meanings between words, phrases. It feels like a insurmountable pulsing neon tower in your head.
Performance enhancing drugs.
Okay. Well, that's some leverage, you know.
As a person who lives in Troika, would I know what this is at this stage, or...?
It's reduced Lucasade.
Iron brew flavoured cocaine.
Would Peter have come into contact or know much about narcotics in the past? Or?
I think probably, yeah.
He lives at Mrs. Stiffpoon's. He's definitely come into contact.
You suspect this could be high-dimensional nepentiment.
Right. And is that highly illegal, or... Does it make you smarter, or does it just make you think that you're smarter? Because a lot of them do that.
It's an inorganic compound formed by the act of riddling in a sort of subspace, a dimensional underlay
Okay.
of the universe that you live in.
So it's purified riddle powder.
Essentially, yes. It's starting to become clear to you now. This could be the source of the Sphinx's winning streak.
Okay. Well, I'll take the drugs.
You'll
take the drugs.
Are you taking the drugs, or are you taking the drugs.
I think I'm going to pocket the drugs.
I would love if you kicked the door open. It's like Sphinx.
It's riddling time.
What gets wetter the more it dries?
And I will see. Ideally, I'd have like another orange powder to leave in its place, but we don't have that. That's a shame.
It's a very niche thing, isn't it? We didn't come with bags of orange powder.
No, wish we had. But I'll just take the bag, I'll pocket it, and I'll try and get out without anybody seeing me.
Okay, you pad your way up the corridor and out into the throne room. You can see that Peg's is still engaged in his riddling competition. I believe you have something.
Mm-hmm. 1 of me makes you happy, 2 of me makes you sad, 3 of me makes you generous, but 4 might make you mad. To happy with friends makes you rich, to get me for friends makes you poor. What am I?
She ponders to herself. She lifts up her glass to you and goes, cheers! And downs it.
That's a good illustration of why it's really hard to play a high intelligence RPG character, because you need to be high intelligence to play it.
I want that riddle.
I'm not saying.
Fuck yourself, Peter.
I'm not saying.
You've changed since the drugs, man.
I'm not saying you.
It can't all be the Tower of Babel. Like
I'm saying about, like, if you're playing a Sphinx who gets any riddle said to it, and then because the Sphinx has to be able to get the riddle, you've got to tell them the answer.
I'm saving my big distraction riddle for when I need to keep attention off you.
Good, thank you.
Which, hopefully, I'll get to do.
I apologise for any offence caused. And I'll just, try and make my way out of the... I'll catch only Pig's attention and no one else's, if possible. And I'll just, give a big nod.
You notice at the
A
corner...
pillbug nod.
A big pillbuggy nod.
Peg, you notice out the corner of your eye, you see one of the pillbug knights that you assume is Peter in disguise, leaving the door behind the Sphinx and heading out through the crowd.
I think the funniest response from Pig, I'm not going to play this, would be, fuck, I've been rumbled. Shit, they're coming for me next. Pig just does not respond. Pig's, do you know what? Pig's locked in. It's no longer about the heist anymore. For Nibelung Pigborn, it's about the thrill of the game.
Okay, well, I'm going to continue trying to just leave the party and see if I can see where Gitbit was thrown out.
Okay, you leave through the front door.
And in the crowd, I will drop my Valir disguise of any kind. Okay,
so you're back to being yourself now?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nobody notices as they're too drunk and self-absorbed.
And everybody's glowing and some shit anyway.
Yeah, I'm glowing.
Oh yes, that's worth pointing out. You are in fact strobing.
Yeah.
In the various colours. You leave the foyer and you notice that the sky is starting to flicker alarmingly. You can see at the foot of the hill, you can see Gitbit.
Okay. What does the sky flickering alarmingly mean? Do I know?
Remember?
Sure.
Remember?
Yeah, remember.
I have no idea what you're trying to tell me.
Right, remember the goblins at the start? They were fucking with the
reality.
The reality.
Engine. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Well, I'll go over to Gitbit and I'll be like, right, I've got it. Let's wait for Pig and then cheese it.
I don't think we can wait. The sky's flickering. This is what you'd want.
Patches of sky begin to just flicker out completely and go black. You can see the crowd that are the various party goers that are at the lakeshore are looking up, and they all look have a sort of concerned expression on their face.
That does look bad. You can't go back in because you just got thrown out.
I can't go back in. Yeah.
Right. Take this.
Okay.
Do not touch anything in it. Right?
What is
Keep it safe.
What is it?
It's evidence.
Evidence?
It's evidence.
Evidence.
I'll go back and see if I can get Pig extracted.
The second you let go of it, he's going to open that box. Not even, he's not going to wait for your back to turn. The second you give it to him, it's going in the lake of lacquer. He's going to trade it away because someone will be saying, I've got an arson kit.
Look, I know we've had our differences, right? But can you go in and save my son?
Is he not with you?
I think he's under Pig's hat.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to get Pig.
Can you save my son?
Well, I'm going to get Pig, so if he's under his hat, then yes.
Okay, good. Okay. I know you hate him, but this isn't the time to
I just don't trust him.
I doubt you would betray us. He's my son.
I'll see you later.
Okay. I'm going to go to the door, because I should probably get the evidence out.
Probably.
But if everybody dies in here, and there's no Sphinx
For
to
the
do
love
that.
of God, someone keep an eye on him so he doesn't burn the entire place down. I'm so scared that Pig's gonna die because someone kept their eyes off Gitbit for like 2 seconds and he got bored and sent the entire place to hell.
I'll meet you back at the start where we saw those goblins.
Okay. Do you remember how to get there?
Yes.
Do you remember how the doors don't go to the place they're supposed to go to?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trusting you, I probably shouldn't.
Trust me.
Okay. I'll go and see if I can get
hang
to
on,
get
so,
there.
Peg, as you're about to gear up for your next riddle, there's a little hand on your shoulder. You look up and you can see that it's Pearl Peru, the merchant venturer, a famous explorer and hero of Troika's merchant navy. She says, come on now, little chap, give some of the rest of us a shot.
Okay. How about this? I'll give my last riddle and then I shall gladly just bugger off. And if the Sphinx can't solve it, you can all have a go at solving it. If you don't mind the...
The Sphinx says, oh, come on now, give the little chap one more shot.
Just one. And again, so... And he bends down and makes sure his shoes are tied because he's going to bolt after this. O Sphinx of great might, to me you inspire. In the garden I wander at the risk of your ire. Who on earth started? That merchant stole fire. And then Pig fucking bolts. He's gone. It doesn't matter what happens next. Pig's fucking gone.
You race your way around and between various sets of legs and then through out the front door, barreling into Peter who's coming up the hill.
Alright, great. Yeah. We're on the same page. Cheese it.
Yeah, that's right. Don't even slow down. Like, I bounce off him like a pinball, ricochet off something else, and I'm continuing in a straight line.
So there's options here. There's a large portal sort of door that you came in on the other side of the lake, or off to your, I would say roughly at 2 o'clock from where you're standing on the hill. There's another door. This one's sort of like, imagine like a Jurassic Park or King Kong style, big wooden door, monoliths, frames. The works.
It's got sconces.
I think we should just go back to where we came, right? Because
No. I'm taking the sconces.
Okay, well, I'll run after you then, because I'm assuming that you're running ahead.
And do I spy Gitbit?
He's about to start off heading off round the lake to the other door.
I scream, Gitbit, come get your son.
my son!
It's the only motivating force I can even possibly consider, and I don't. Pig does not slow out of this run. Right, this is a good, respectable jog, and he heads straight for those doors. And he's not going to examine them when he gets there. He's just going to push it straight open.
I'll run up to you and I'll like push the evidence into you. You can have the evidence, and I'll take.
So Gitbit hands you a random silver box.
And I'll take my son from under your hat and I'll slap you across the chops. And I'll say, "Never endanger our son like that again."
It's called enrichment. It's called education.
I'm already all like I can't hear you. I'm just like, I'm so sorry, my child. I'm so sorry.
There's a person-sized door built into the larger door.
Like a cat flap.
Yeah.
I'll go through the person's side door.
Me too.
I like how, for no reason at all, we're like just trading this stuff around between us.
Yeah, and as I go through it, I say, Peter, and I sort of wave the box above my head to let Peter grab it, because there's no way I'm having it on.
I'll take it, sure.
Good.
Okay, you head through the smaller door. You're in a large coffee house that seems to... It's enormous. It stretches off way into the distance. You can see there's various different sections, smoking, non-smoking, separated by hedges. The ceiling, though, seems to be made of like drooping, sagging skin.
Lovely. Does the coffee house seem to be slowly deleting itself?
Some of the hedges are starting to flicker slightly.
Well,
there's a sort of rising... There's a sort of distant hissing of static as well that you can hear.
Let's move very calmly over to someone who works here.
Calmly!
And be like, excuse me, do you know the quickest way out? Something's come up.
The waiting staff, brace yourself for this. the waiting staff are giant lymphocytes.
Okay. I believe that's
it's like white
a type
blood
of
cells.
cell, yes.
So these giant white blood cells are sort of squishily moving around and carrying trays of coffee. I should say there's quite a lot of guests just sitting about drinking tea and stuff on the...
Are they are they carrying their trays of coffee like extended out on a pseudopod from the larger cell body?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say that, or are they like balancing them on their cell-like mats?
They sort of like at the base of them. They've extended two sort of stumpy pseudopods when they're sort of plodding along, and they've extended apart themselves out to hold the trays.
I love them. Do they answer me? Can they answer me?
So what do you say?
I'm just like saying, we're looking for the quickest way out. We're looking to get out into the city proper.
I'd like to be quite discreet about it because I have explosive diarrhea.
Yes, as I say, some things come up, or indeed down.
And I just try to make as much eye contact with like guests, other like servers, as much as I can.
Coming up from out of the lymphocyte, there's a sort of gentle spray of chemicals in your face. Do you want to make a skill roll?
Please.
Not particularly, because I don't do them very well. 4, which is a success. Is that just straight up my skill?
Yep.
That's still a success.
Weirdly, through the different gradient of chemical, you get an impression of a message, which is just on the left and down the central hallway, sir.
Okay. Just on the left and down the central hallway. Let's go.
I'll look at them and say, "You're a saint. You're a saint."
And then will you like do a bit of a waddle as you move along?
Yeah, legs as extended as possible.
Yeah.
Right angle knees.
As much
Right side Goldie.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We've got to go. He's bearing down. It's just the fact that we don't have to do this. But I don't know.
You don't want these like blood cell people to think we're criminals, do you?
We could just say we need to leave. Anything. Babysitters come up. Our taxi thing is on.
If you
a
tell
timer.
people, this is a good life lesson. If you tell people that you need to do something or you need to get away because you've got explosive diarrhea, they will not question you.
I mean,
that's official advice
the
from the Ludonauts podcast.
The workers in the cafe might just direct you to the toilet in the cafe. Though.
No, it's a religious thing. Like for
then-
Telak.
Anyway.
I don't want to be associated with this.
At the end of the sort of passageway, there's a glowing portal. You can see the Troika Central Park outside.
Fantastic. Let's
Okay.
go.
Oh, we're barreling towards that.
Okay, and you burst through air into the cool of the night.
Ooh.
Like nothing ever happened.
Oh God, guys, we've got to go to that sodding lift again. The temptation just to put like the box on the floor of the lift and just send the lift up to floor 6.
You might be able to use the staff lift again.
Oh,
Is there any goblins about outside?
None that you can see. No.
Does the indolent bloom like just collapse in upon itself like the house from Poltergeist?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, shame. I was a bit worried that it might give in the whole sky problem. Right, let's head.
we're going back to the Bloodmont and Thistle.
We
Yeah.
should spend our winnings. Night on the town.
We haven't been paid yet.
Oh, but we had that bag of drugs though.
Yes,
We
that's
could
part
just-
of the evidence.
We could go and just be hyper aware all night.
Because nothing really pays the bills like being kind of good at riddles.
I mean, apparently there's a big betting culture around it. But
We go back to the Bloodmont
Let's
and
go
Thistle.
back to the London Thistle.
Okay, you head through the streets, which are, as I mentioned before, rowdy with argumentative riddle fans, but you're largely unimpeded, possibly because of you having an angry-looking man covered in swords and oil.
Walking with right angle knees.
Yes.
He takes corners like nobody's business now.
Without much further ado, you make it to the Belongs and Thistle. You show the little black bit of card that shows that you're on Sphinx business, and you're allowed to go up in the staff elevator, so there's no hassle with gaseous forms or anything like that.
Thank God.
That was the most trouble we've had in this entire campaign.
I almost died.
You did.
You did.
You find yourself once again at the door to the Sphinx's chambers.
I will knock and announce our presence.
The Obsidian Pulbug Knight lets you guys in.
Thank you very much.
You see the Obsidian Sphinx. Ah, you have returned!
Indeed, we have.
Unfortunately, we failed.
Well, I don't believe that's the case at all.
Your man, the Sphinx, asked us to set it on fire, and we didn't.
We
did a little bit of fire.
We did not set it on fire, let the record show. What we did do is we found our way into the Carnelian Sphinx's private quarters, and we found, and I'll present with a flourish the box, this.
Ah, curious. So she opens it, and at first she looks at the scroll. She goes, the more it dries. Ah, fascinating.
And I believe
work
my
with
employer, if you're having trouble with that, the bag next to it should provide some amount of help in that regard.
She extends one of her claws and pops the bag open and looks inside. She pulls out a claw with a little keep of the high dimensional neptiment on it, and you can see her eyes sort of just widen as she looks at it. Oh, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but thank you for bringing it to my attention anyway.
I will say that what I believe that is something that your opponent had been using to unfairly improve their chances at succeeding in riddle games. Evidence of cheating.
Take it to the Riddle Commissioner.
Take it to the Riddle Commissioner, or take it yourself. It's up to you. Either way, I bet you'll probably win the contest.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I think tomorrow's contest is going to have a somewhat different result.
Have no fear, cease your moping, for your opponent has been caught doping. Sorry, I had a dab of it on the way up.
That's not actually a riddle.
No, but
It's worn off.
it's good.
Can I use your bathroom?
While you're there, see if there's a little silver box.
Oh, yes, yes.
We're going to run the riddle game in the voice.
You play both sides against the other. So now, of course, for your reward. She pulls out 4 bags of coin from her chaise lounge and presents them to you.
Fantastic.
It has been a pleasure doing business. Do the big sweeping bow.
Thank you. Perhaps we'll meet again in 100 years for the next contest.
Oh, derivative dwarfs don't live that long.